What's up, everybody? Welcome to Florida Hood Blogs. We're here in Naples, Florida, on an online list as the second best small town in the whole country. Ironically, not a single person out of the thousands of people that voted on these online polls that I took, not a single person mentioned Naples, Florida as the best small town in Florida. It's very clear that Naples is not a small town, and all these realtors using this statement that Naples is the best small town in the United States. Naples is nonetheless a very nice town. However, it is by no means a small town. But when you're going to tell me that they have the best food, the friendliest people, and that they're a small town, you've gone too far, people. Is it a beautiful place? Absolutely a beautiful place. But let's be honest, this is no small town, and the traffic here is on par with Miami and Orlando. I don't know what you were really going for by saying this is a small town. You know what happens is these people, they don't really know these places. I bet you half of the people that make these lists have never been to the places they talk about. 95% of the people you see out here working or tourists, so I don't even know who the residents of Naples are. People like Donald Trump, people like Rick Scott, those are the people that own property here in Naples. So I'm going to drive you guys around Naples, the city of Naples, and I'm going to show you guys the statistical area that is considered the city of Naples. Now, there's only about 20,000 people that live within Naples itself. The city limits are very small. In the city of Naples, this is where they're gathering their statistics to say that the city of Naples is one of the nicest small towns in the United States. Now, the problem is that realtors and other people, there's probably close to 400,000 people in the Naples metropolitan area. So you have 400,000 people with a Naples metropolitan area address, but only 20,000 people live within the city limits. And I think this is very misleading. So yes, this is the 20,000 people that live within the city limits of Naples. It's this very small, very wealthy area. And I think it's misleading that they would consider Naples a small town, because Naples is really the center of a metropolitan area of about 400,000 people. And also, this is for this isn't a small town. This is for the 1% of the 1%. So you have the 1% that hold most of the wealth in the country. This is the 1% of the 1%. These are the wealthy of the wealthy who have homes here, and the city limits only encompasses these people. So we cannot dispute that the confines of the city of Naples are a very nice place to live. Who wouldn't want to have a $7 million property on the beach? I know I would. Review, it says that Naples has some of the best restaurants. As you know, having good restaurants, good food is considered to be one of the considering factors that they included when drawing up this list. And I couldn't disagree more with that statement. It might have the most expensive restaurants, but I wouldn't personally. I've eaten at a lot of restaurants here, and they are very expensive. But as far as I'm concerned, when we talk about food, we're talking about how good the food is, not how expensive it is. And when it comes to good food, I don't really, there's not really a restaurant here that I can really say is amazing. We've had, usually like for our anniversary, we'll have our dinner in downtown Naples. We've gone to Riverwalk, we've gone to the one by the city dock, and they are expensive, but are they good? I can't really think of a Naples restaurant that stands out to me as being good, impressive. my personal opinion. A trabajar, chico. Puro trabajo. Katie, these illegals are taking all the jobs that I want to do. So this is the city of Naples. 20,000 people. A very small percentage of the Naples metropolitan area's landmass. However, now people in North Naples and in the Golden Gate Estates and all over the metropolitan area are sharing in their Facebooks that they live in the second best town in the country. I've got some bad news for you. You don't live in the second best town in the country. These people in the city limits live in that town, and we're going to do a video soon of the real top 10 best small towns in Florida that they're considering, because I'm already seeing realtors who are selling properties that are not here. They're properties that are outside of the city limits, and they're already bragging about how this house is in the second best small town in the United States, and they're not referring to the city of Naples. They're referring to unincorporated Collier County, because the city limits is this very small little area that we're looking at here. Very small area that most of us can't afford. Even people with $1 million net worth would be very unwise to move to a place like this, because just the housing alone will bring them to the poorhouse. It's not enough to live here. It's enough to live near here, but it's not enough to live here. So guys, this is the city of Naples, where they're drawing up those statistics from. However, even with the fact that the statistical area is only encompassing the city of Naples, many people are attributing those statistics to the entire metropolitan area. And that's where we're having a misunderstanding. They weren't referring to you in Naples Park or you over there in the Golden Gate Estates. No, they were referring to this. They're pulling their statistics for this little area, the city of Naples. This very small, very wealthy enclave that even wealthy rich people can't afford. And we're gonna do a video of the real top 10 best small towns in Florida, and Naples is not on the list. The reason it's not on the list is because even millionaires can't afford to live here. You got to be a multimillionaire to live here in Naples. A millionaire couldn't afford the property taxes to live in some of these areas, let alone the house itself. And if you have $1 million and you spend it all on real estate to live in a massive house, you're not gonna have $1 million for too long, because living here isn't cheap. Well, beyond the fact that the statistical area that they're using to gather this information is this tiny little area right here, this really isn't the best small town in the United States. It's completely unaffordable, like I mentioned, to the vast majority of people, even those people who have a lot of wealth. It's just completely out of the realm of possibilities. And it really isn't the best small town, even if it was not the case. If you could just afford to move here, it's really not the case. This list, I think they have some very opinionated views, or they have an agenda of some type of social class that they're trying to kiss up to, because frankly, it just isn't an accurate statement. To consider this one of the best small towns in the country, you have to be out of your mind. You have all these signs that say no parking everywhere. What small town in the United States needs to have a sign on every 2 or 3 signs on every property saying that you can't park? There's one here, There's one there. They're everywhere. What small town? You get flash mobs of tourists, and there was just cars parked all over the city, where every house has to have 3 or 4 signs on their front yard letting people know not to park here, because the flash mobs of tourists that invade the city as other beaches are closing in the state. Is that the type of small town you want to live in? Get on US 41 in the wintertime. I live 9 miles from here. We're 9 miles from my house right now. It can take me up to an hour. It can take me up to an hour to drive this 9-mile stretch in the wintertime. Bumper to bumper, people flicking each other off.